further ado, let's get a bit into the background of the company that we chose. So we interviewed a store called iStore, full name iStore by CISO. So the name of the company that owns iStore is CISO, and the owner of the company is K. Jin. The location of the outlet that we interviewed was at Paprika Shopping Gallery at Jalan Dutamas, Solaris Dutamas in Kuala Lumpur. That particular outlet has been in operation for around 27 years. The business started in 1999. It is a Sdn Bhd, and the tagline of iStore is PC, Mac dan macam-macam. For context, iStore is a gadget retail store that particularly focuses on reselling Apple accessories. It started with PC components and moved on to Apple accessories. So we chose two of its products to analyze in this assignment.
Okay, for this slide, I will explain our cyber protocol and how the process occur during our presentation. So firstly, in WITEF, we had our first meeting and business selection. During this stage, our group discussed and decided to choose iStore as the business for our job costing interview. Next, in week 13, we conduct a physical interview with the business manager. The purpose of this interview was to collect important information related to costing, operation, and job processes. After that, still in week 13, we analyzed the interview result. We reviewed the information given by the manager and identify relevant data need for our assignment. Then we proceed with week 13, where we proceed to prepare the draft of the assignment, and we organize the information based on the job costing requirements. Finally, in week 14, we complete the video presentation and to present our findings and
in this slide, I will explain the product costing for one of the items sold at iStore Paprika, which is the Skinarma phone casings. First, let's look at the costing approach. iStore uses job order costing for customers' Apple products and repair, while process costing is applied for standard, high-volume items such as iPhone accessories. Since Skinarma casing is a mass-produced product, process costing is used. Now, moving on to the direct cost. The direct material cost for Skinarma casing is Rm50 ringgit, and the direct labor is Rm6 ringgit and 92 cents. In addition, there is a direct expenses, which is a sale commission of 3% amounting to Rm1 ringgit and 50 cents. When we combine the direct material, direct labor and direct expenses, the prime cost comes to Rm58 ringgit and 42 cents. Next, we have the manufacturing or production overhead. These include indirect materials such as paper bags, receipt paper, and packaging tape, which total Rm31 ringgit. And there is also indirect labor such as the store manager salary amounting to Rm8 ringgit and 8 ringgit per hour, and indirect expenses like depreciations of shop equipment and Rm16 ringgit and 60 cents. Altogether, the total manufacturing overhead is Rm55 ringgit and 60 cents. After that, we include non-manufacturing overheads, which consists of utilities costings 1,650 ringgit and rental Rm2,500, giving a total Rm4,150 ringgit. When all costs are added together, the total cost per unit is Rm42 ringgit and 64 cents. To ensure profitability, iStore apply a 30% profit margin, which is Rm12 ringgit and 80 cents per unit. Therefore, the final selling price of the Skinarma casings is Rm55 ringgit and 44 cents. In conclusion, this costing system helps iStore to control costs, set accurate prices, and maintain profitability, especially for high demand accessories like phone casing.
iPhone screen protector, which is the direct cost itself is direct material. The direct material is iPhone screen protector. So total for 80 units is 3,450 ringgit, and for the 1 unit is 69 ringgit. So for the direct labor is 60.92 ringgit. So the prime cost is 77.99, and manufacturing and production overhead, which is that we have a direct material, which is we have paper bag, we have receipt paper, we have packaging tape, which is for the paper bag we have 48 ringgit and 80 cents. We have packaging tape, which is the 8 ringgit, and we have a bubble wrap, which is 16 ringgit 67 cents, and total manufacturing production cost which is 73 ringgit and 47 cents. And next we move to non-manufacturing product, which is the production overhead. We have we have utilities, and we have a rental. And for utilities we have 1,650 ringgit, and rental we have 2,000 ringgit 500. And the total of manufacturing and production overhead, which is 5,150 ringgit. So the total cost for 1 unit, we have to total up the 77.99 plus 70 ringgit 747 multiple by 4,000 ringgit 150. So we get 4,000 ringgit 301 ringgit and 46 cents. So we are divided by 80 units itself. So we get 50 ringgit 0.77 for one total cost. The total cost for 1 unit. And then we want a profit 37 ringgit 62 percent. So we have to divide it. We have to times with 4,000 ringgit 31. We have to times with the total cost itself, so we get 20 ringgit and 23 cents. For the selling price, we sell 74 ringgit only. So that's all for the production costing. Thank you.
So after interviewing the manager of iStore Paprika, I can clearly understand how the company determines the cost of each product. So by that, I learned how job costing is calculated using a cost card, as well as how the company plans and manages its materials. So by that, the interview also helped me understand how pricing is set to achieve the higher profit.
So as for my personal reflection, I do think that travelling from Raub to Kuala Lumpur with my friends for a group assignment was one of the best moments in my studying era, as it was both fun but also tiring and meaningful. This journey made me realize how much effort were needed to gain real life knowledge that is beyond the classroom.
In my point of view, I gained valuable insight into precision and detail when calculating the quantities, which are essential skills in any analytical role. The experience of interviewing the cafe owner was particularly impactful, as it pushed me beyond my comfort zone, forcing me to approach problem with fresh perspective and sharpening my critical thinking abilities. This challenge.
So as for me, in my point of view, during the interview session, my role was to record important information that was shared by the manager of the store. So on the interview, I focused on listening carefully and noting the key points that are related to the company financial and even the decision making process. From this interview, I can say that I learned how to increase my communication skills. It also helped me increasing my listening skill, because even the small mistake that was made by me, it can affect the financial reporting.
So from my personal reflection, honestly, through completing this assignment that involved interviewing iStore, we have gained valuable exposure to real-world business operations and a clearer understanding of how theoretical concepts learned in the class are applied in practice. The interview process allowed us to collect first-hand information about iStore product, cost consideration, and daily operation, which helped us strengthen our analytical and research skills.
So as a person who personally conducted the interview, I was no doubt filled with nervousness and a bit of fear, as this was indeed my first time conducting something in this manner. But once it actually began, I realized that my fears were unfounded. The person that we interviewed, which was Mr. Falik, the regional manager for iStore Paprika, was actually a very easygoing person who was well put and calm and answered all the questions that we gave him with ease, and we gave extra useful tips. The answers were compelling and they were useful for the purposes of our assignment.
So now we're moving on to the suggestion for the business on how they can further improve in managing the cost. So the first one is effective cost management. Effective cost management is improving budget allocation and preparing detailed budget. This will help the manager to compare estimated and real budget. The second one is to reduce operational waste. Reduce operational waste meaning that we need to use a better resource utilization, thus reducing inefficiency. The third one is control labor cost. By controlling labor cost, we ensure that employee is used effectively and we can improve work schedule, and this will help to reduce unnecessary wage expenses. The fourth one is monitoring utility usage. Monitoring usage like electricity, water and fuel can help reduce unnecessary expenses as well. So these are all of the 4 suggestions for the business to improve in managing the cost.
So after overview, the assignment protocol and the calculation for the product costing, so I would like to conclude that for conclusion, job cost card is an important tool for businesses like iStore Paprika to record and track costs for each specific job or order. It records direct materials, labor, and overhead costs in an organized way, ensuring transparency and reducing errors. Job cost card also help managers compare estimated and actual costs to analyze profit and improve cost control. Overall, it supports to better decision making and business to create efficiency in the business.